Recall that the Adhikara of Karake runs from 1423 down to 1455. And in this Adhikara, the Anuvritti of Apadanam runs from 1424 down 1431. Let's now take the Sutram 1427, which reads Varanarthanam Ipsitaha. The Vritti first tells us what is Varanam. Pravritti Vighato Varanam. So Varanam, which is warding off, stands for Pravritti Vighataha, meaning preventing from advancing or preventing or stopping someone's tendency to do something. That is Pravritti Vighataha, or in English, warding off. And Varanarthanam means Varanarthanam Dhatunam Prayoge. So when a verbal root having the meaning of Varanam, warding off, is used, the Karakam, the participant in the action. Don't forget that we are in the Adhikara of Karake, which starts from 1423. So the Karakam, which denotes the thing desired to be reached or affected. Affected by what? Affected by the action. Means by the doer through the action. That is designated as Apadanam. For example, Yavebhyo Gam Varayati. Someone wards off the cow from the barley. Now, who or what does the doer want to reach or affect through the action? The first thing that the doer wants to affect through the action is the cow. He wants to ward off the cow. Then why doesn't the cow become the Apadanam? Because she is also Ipsita. The answer is that the cow is Ipsita, that is true, but she is Ipsita Tama. She is the most desired to be reached or affected by the action. And let us recall that the Sutram 1449 says Kartur Ipsita Tamam Karma. So that which is Ipsita Tamam, the most desired to be reached by the action, is given the designation Karma. And 1449 is a later rule in the Ashtadhyayi compared to this rule 1427. So the cow gets the designation Karma by 1449, and then 232 Karmani Dvitiya assigns the second case affix following the Pratipadikam Go, which denotes the Karma, and we get the form Gam. So yes, it is true that Go, the cow, is desired to be reached through the action by the doer, but because of Karturipsita Tamam Karma, which is a later rule in the Ashtadhyayi compared to 1427, we assign the Karma Sanya to Go, the cow, and then we use 232 Karmani Dvitiya following the Pratipadikam Go. Now the cow is not the only thing that the doer wants to reach through the action. The doer also wants to reach or affect the barley through the action, because if he does not act, the barley will be eaten. So the action also affects the barley, even though the one that is most affected by the action of warding off is the cow, the barley is also affected. Hence the Yavaha are Ipsitaha, and therefore they get the designation Apadanam by this Sutram. And then of course once we have that, then by 2328 Apadane Panchami, we assign the fifth case affix, in this case the plural affix Bhyas, following the Pratipadikam Yava. As per the Mahabhashyam, we can manage without this Sutram. How is that possible? The Mahabhashyam says that we can manage by using the Sutram 1424, Dhruvam Apaye Padanam. But to have a Apayaha, we require a Sanyoga Purvakaha Vishlesha, means there has to be contact, and then following that there has to be a detachment or a separation. But here the cow never made contact with the barley. So how do we say that there is Apayaha? Mahabhashyam says that is okay, because there is a mental contact. There is a mental consideration. The doer first considers what would happen if the cow were to eat the barley. So he joins the cow with the barley in his mind and considers the consequences of that. And after that he wards off the cows. So even though the cow doesn't make physical contact with the barley, there is a mental consideration, the thought process, and that is the mental contact. So if you include that, then there is a Apayaha. and therefore the sutram Dhruvamapaye Padanam itself may be used to assign the designation Apadanam to the barley. Hence, as per the Mahabhashyam, we can manage without this sutram. Now, why does the sutram say Ipsitaha? Ipsitaha kim? What would happen if we did not say Ipsitaha? Consider the example, Yavebhyo gam varayati kshetre. Someone wards off the cow from the barley in the field. Here, that which is desired to be affected or reached by the action is the barley and not the field. Hence, only Yava gets the designation Apadanam. Kshetra does not. If we did not say Ipsitaha, then Kshetra also being a Karakam, it is a participant in the action of warding off. And in the absence of the mention of Ipsitaha, even Kshetra would have got the Apadana Sanya, which is clearly not desirable. Actually, even here, we could argue that the Sutram 1445, Adharodhikaranam, which we'll be studying shortly, that is a later rule in the Ashtadhyayi compared to 1427. So that would take precedence and assign the Sanya Adhikaranam to the field, and hence there is no risk of Kshetra taking the Apadana Sanya. So according to some grammarians, we don't need Ipsitaha in the sutra because 1445 Adharodhikaranam being a later rule, it would take precedence and assign the Adhikarana Sanya to the field, the locus of the action. So even without Ipsitaha, we can manage because Kshetra would first get the Adhikarana Sanya by 1445, and then of course Yava gets the Apadana Sanya by 1427. So the mention of Ipsitaha in the sutram may not be absolutely necessary.